I'm really honored to have sitting next to me a great man of God that I consider a dear friend. He is a prince of preachers. His wife also can preach the paint off a barn, and pastors one of the great churches in our nation's capital, Greater Mount Calvary, and in this last year was made the presiding prelate and bishop over the entire Greater Mount Calvary churches. He's no stranger to TBN, great voice to the kingdom. Would you warmly welcome Bishop Alfred Owens Jr.
Thank you.
Bless
Thank
you.
you.
Bless you.
Thank you, sir. I am so excited and delighted to be back with the TBN family again, and to especially be the guest where you are the host. We've been friends for many years. We go back a long time.
Long time.
Although you're considerably younger than I am. But I'm just glad to be here and to thank Jan and Paul Crouch for extending another invitation for me to come back.
Well, you've got something to say, and so we're glad you came back. We really are. Bishop, I know there's a lot that, I mean, you are a seasoned voice in the kingdom. There's a lot you see. There's a lot you hear, and your finger is on the pulse of what's taking place right now in the urban centers of not just America, but the world. What are you seeing? What are you sensing?
Well, Mark, there's a general message that I have been carrying almost for 2 years now, especially during this time of recession and economic decline. I've been telling the people, don't lose their hope.
Yeah.
And I think hope is that, I call it that neglected triplet, because where Paul said, now abideth faith, hope, charity. We hear so much about faith and charity, but so little about hope. But Paul said, we are saved by hope, but hope that is seen
is not hope.
Is not hope. For what a man seeth, why doth he yet hope for? But if we hope with perseverance and wait for it, God will bring it to pass. So I've been telling people, you know, in this, lose your house, lose your car, lose your wealth, lose your health, lose your honey. But if you hold on to your hope, you can get it all back.
Yeah.
And, the working definition that I use for hope is the expectation of good. Hope is the expectation of good. It may not be good right now, but I expect things to get better. And if you keep that expectation alive in your spirit, because God is not a man that he can lie. And whatever God promised you, if you wait on it, it will come to pass.
Yeah.
I think we have a problem nowadays waiting on it because we're so impatient. But if God has given you a promise, it will be fulfilled. I tell people, get you one good God said.
Yeah.
And don't go anywhere.
Exactly.
If God said it, because he's not a man that he can lie, he's going to do it. God said, no good thing will I withhold from those who walk upright before me. God said, trust in the Lord with all of your heart and don't lean to your own understanding. In all of your ways acknowledge him and he'll direct thy path. God said, wait on the Lord and be of good courage and he shall strengthen thine heart. God said, but they that wait on the Lord shall renew their strength. All you need is one good God said. I tell you, if you get you one good God said, I will supply all of your needs. God said, but seek ye first the kingdom of heaven and his righteousness, and all of these things will be added unto you. I want to challenge everybody tonight, get you one good God said and stay there. Don't go anywhere.
Awesome. Don't stop.
Paul said, if you wait with perseverance, and I have a formula for the word wait, W-A-I-T. W-A-I-T. W, I weather the storm. Because the storm is going to come, but I'm going to do like the old folks used to say, I shall not be moved. Now, if I was home at Calvary, I tell my people, tell your neighbor, I ain't going nowhere. You have to weather the storm. Stay right there because the storm will soon pass over. That's W, weather the storm. A, get an anchor. Anchor in Jesus. You can't anchor in anybody or anything but Jesus. In the old church, we sang a song, be sure, be very sure that your anchor holds and grips the solid rock. And the only thing that's worth holding on to now is Jesus. So you weather the storm, you anchor in Jesus, and then the letter I, it stands for inspiration. It means I don't wait for anybody to pat me on my back or tell me it's going to be well. I tell myself it is well. I sing because I'm happy. I sing because I'm free. His eye is on the sparrow, and I know he watches me. Inspiration. So W, you weather the storm. A, you anchor in Jesus. I, you grab you some inspiration. And T, give God time to move. He may not come when you want him, but he's always on time. So the message has to be hope. You cannot lose your hope regardless of how dark and dreary it may become. Hang on to your hope and God will bring you out.
Oh, that's awesome, Bishop.
I get excited when I think about it. I get excited when I think about it.
You're on a roll. Don't stop.
Go ahead. I get excited when I think about it.
I don't want to interrupt you. Go ahead.
I just get excited because there's so much gloom and so much doom in the world. Everywhere you look, there's doom and gloom. But the Christians have to have another perspective. We have to have another view. And although it looks dark, everything that looks one way doesn't mean it's going to be that way all the time. What do we say? Trouble don't last always. Hope says there's a bright side somewhere. Hope says this too shall pass. Hope says what's coming is better than what's been. Hope says I've seen my future and things are coming together. Hope said it ain't over till God says it's over. Oh, hope says if you trust and never doubt, he will surely bring you out. My message tonight is don't lose your hope.
I hear you.
Because things are going to get better. We're coming out of this recession. We're coming out of this economic decline because God has a way of testing the saints to see if you're going to be true anyhow. You know, I grew up in recession. We just didn't know it was recession.
Right.
You know, I grew up poor. I grew up on government cheese, which was the hardest cheese in the world to cut. And I grew up on canned peanut butter and powdered eggs. And I grew up with a TV where you had to put a coat hanger and all of that. But God has a way. This is not the first time many of us have faced recession. And the same way God brought us out of that, he's going to get us out of this. If you hold on to your hope. You know, Greater Mount Calvary in Washington, D.C., as well as the other Mount Calvary churches, we're trying to focus on taking the church just out of the four walls into the community and take a word of hope and encouragement to those in the surrounding areas of the church. We happen to be in the inner city of Washington, D.C., where people are always knocking on the door for hope. And we try to tell them your first hope has not to be in the meal, cannot be in the meal you eat, or we giving you a few dollars, but your first hope must be in Jesus because he's the foundation and he's the stabilizer.
Wow.